what does rest actually mean when obviously we're using most of our muscles most of the time every day, just while getting on with everyday life? And we can't simply lie down and just stop using everything. So really, really interesting. So what I want to start off with here is what we mean when we say rest a muscle, because of course it doesn't mean that we have to lie completely still and avoid using it, or have a couch potato day or whatever. That would just be impossible. What we're actually talking about here is rest from exercise, from formal exercise, from workouts. And what we really mean by that is rest from the training stimulus. So how we've challenged a muscle, because that's how we get stronger. So let's say you've done a pretty challenging strength workout on a Monday. We've done some squats, we've done some lunges, just say like, for example, stronger. And we got close to the point where those muscles are getting really tired and fatigued, or maybe they are. Then on Tuesday, of course, we're still going to use our legs. We're going to be walking upstairs, downstairs. We're going to be getting up and out of a chair, carrying shopping. We're going to be picking things up. We're going to be walking the dog, maybe chasing your kids around, whatever normal life looks like for you. And that's absolutely fine, because there's a difference between using the muscle and then training a muscle hard enough that it needs recovery afterwards. And in fact, gentle movement, such as walking, mobility work, Pilates, or like a light yoga session, depending on how you feel, can really, really help recovery without putting another big load on your muscles. And I think sometimes rest gets interpreted as, okay, let's have a day where we do nothing, which actually isn't that useful for the body. It's more useful to do something really light, go on a short walk or do a light stretching or a light Pilates, just to keep that blood flow going, and it helps your body recover quicker. Whereas I would think of it more as resting, giving your body a break from intensity. And in terms of building strength without creating tension, I'd be looking at these few things. So firstly, when you are doing strength work, just notice where you're holding unnecessary tension, because something I see quite a lot is someone is doing, a shoulder press, or they're doing a squat, and somehow the shoulders are so high, they're nearly touching their ears, and they're clenching their jaw without realizing, holding their breath. And before they realize, the whole entire body is joined in on this extra tension that we don't need. And of course, some tension is going to be necessary. Like if we're doing shoulder press, we're going to feel tension in our shoulders. We are contracting the muscles. We're creating force. We're working and we're creating a stimulus to get stronger. That doesn't mean that we need to be holding it in our jaw as well. So I just regularly check, am I softening my shoulders? Am I relaxing my jaw? Is it unclenched? Am I breathing through the exercise? Am I gripping the weights harder than I actually need to? Can I keep my core supportive without feeling like I'm bracing for someone to punch me in the stomach? And I think breath is a really big one, actually. And just remember, with the breath, we are breathing out when there is an effort. So that might be when we're doing a shoulder press. When we press up, we are exhaling. And then I would look at the progression side. So are we jumping from, say, a 2K dumbbell straight to a 6 just because? Or just because we want to get stronger, which is great, but I'd say do it in small increments, and be okay with, if you just need to in the middle of a track, just putting the weights down, having a mini little rest, and then picking it back up again. It's just really important to be in tune with the body and to be listening to what the body needs. So try not to make the jumps too quick, let the body actually adapt. And are we allowing enough adaptation for the body? So like I've said here, in order to build strength, in order to get stronger, we have to challenge the muscle. If we don't challenge the muscle doesn't know that it needs to adapt for that certain stimulus, i.e., it doesn't know that it needs to get stronger. So we have to tell the muscle we need to get stronger. And to do that, we have to challenge it. And therefore, it adapts and we get stronger. So we do need the challenge. But as well as giving our body the challenge so that our body knows, right, oh dear, I'm not quite strong enough for this yet. Right, we need to send some strength to that area, because essentially that's kind of what's happening. We need to allow it to rest as well, because if we constantly hammer and hammer and hammer the same area, there is no rest period for the body to recover, for the body to knit itself back together, if you like. So when we strength train, we create micro tears in the muscles. And there's a little bit of temporary inflammation. It's okay. That's okay. That's all right. Inflammation. It's just natural. It's just what's going to happen. And then the body knits itself back together. We need adequate protein. We need enough water, and we need enough rest in that area. As in, if you've just done a 20-minute bicep curling session, leave the biceps for a couple of days, come back to them in a couple of days, and go about your day-to-day life. Keep it active, stay active, but just don't go straight into a strong bicep session straight again. I hope that makes sense. So the workout is a stimulus, but the adaptation actually happens afterwards. So just make sure that you are giving your body enough recovery time to get stronger. And by rest, it doesn't mean do nothing with the arms. It just means don't pick up the weights again for maybe, a couple of days, depending on how you challenge it and how you feel. And when you're new to doing this kind of workout, or say if you're new to the squad or you're new to strength training, at the start, your body might just need a little bit of extra rest, and that's okay. So you might say if you're going to do upper body, you want to do it 3 times a week because your focus at the moment is to sculpt the arms. Well, you might start off with 2 and allow some adequate rest days in between. Rest days being not picking the weights up for those days, unless you're going to do a lower body session. That's different. Resting the upper body whilst working the lower body. But normal everyday movement isn't going to stop your muscles from recovering. So you don't have to like send them into sleep mode or like hibernation. It's just about managing the load and intensity you're asking them to deal with.